Go for it.
All right. Hello, everyone from around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is olddirtyh the pair talking, and it looks like my microphone setting is too high. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so you're not losing your eardrums. This is olddirtyh the pair talking, and I am joined by Old Dirty H.
Yo, we're back. Back in action.
Yeah, back in action after a day off. Now we're back to casting. Um, Today we're going to be looking at the match between underrated champions and versus Quebec team. On the team of underrated champions, we've got Pacer, Comrade Taco, Gorbaco 5, and the Smoker. And on the Quebec team, we've got QC Jonathan, QC Sammy Boy, QC I, and QC Ridge. What do you think about the matchup here between underrated champions and Quebec team? Who do you think has the edge?
I'm a little more familiar with the underrated champions team. I
Same.
believe this was a 2 versus 2.
Mm-hmm.
This match coming up.
Yes.
I'm not sure exactly who played. We'll find out, I guess, in a minute. But overall, I play a lot of games with Pacer. He's actually the understudy of Leonidas. If you guys know him, he's an old player. Um, he's improved a lot. I know he joined Strat as well, so his game's been improving steadily. Comrade Taco's all around well-rounded player. Gorbaco as well, and the Smoker. I think he was a newer addition to this team,
Yes.
but he's a good all-around player as well.
Yep.
Uh, as far as the Quebec team, I'm only played quite a bit with I and Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan being more of a standard player, but he's still very solid at Nomad. I has improved a lot. He's a fairly new player, but I like his game a lot. He's really versatile. Like he's not a one-trick pony. Like he'll boom sometimes, he'll rush sometimes. He's a good raider. He will blunder though,
Yeah.
from time to time, but overall, he's been solid.
Yeah.
Sammy, I'm not too familiar with, and Ridgewell, I see sporadically. He's probably the lowest of the bunch. So if in a 3 versus 3 and a 4 versus 4 setting, I definitely would give the edge to underrated champions. But since this is a 2v2, depending on which two they bring, it's hard for me to make a call of who the favorite is right now.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to see who the players are going to be, as well as what sort of strategies these teams bring. Um, we were told by some of our fellow casters who show up occasionally that they would be here, but we're actually short 2 people. So this is my opportunity to call them out. Princess and Raiden, hello from whenever you watch this eventually, I imagine. Thank you
They're
very
probably both
much for showing
sleeping.
up. Thank you for
A
showing
couple
up
of bums.
exactly
Yeah.
on time. Um, yeah. Anyways, so let's take a look. Firstly, before we start the game, if you would like to support the Nordic Classic and you would like to contribute to the prize pool to make things a little bit more exciting, you can go to the front page of the tournament under Nordic Classic, and you can donate to the prize pool, which is on this link here. Of course, this tournament is entirely free, both the participants and the viewers. But it'd be really, really awesome if we could add to the prize pool to make things a little bit more exciting for for everyone participating. So please, 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 if you are interested, go ahead and donate. That would be awesome. All right, shall we get to the games?
Let's do it.
All right, and I'm going to switch over to Rise of Nations here.
I'm at 2 seconds.
All right, I got to load up the game first. 1 second.
Yeah, that's one. Just let me know when you're ready.
Yep. All right. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure the Rise of Nations was showing up correctly on the screen. All right, so again, this is underrated champions against Quebec team. Okay, so I'm at 0 seconds, and I'll do a countdown.
Do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off.
All right,
And it
so
looks
this
like,
is underrated champions versus Quebec team. Let's have a look at the players and their nations.
Well, map real quick. It looks like watering hole.
It does look like watering hole. That's a big hole
Yep.
with a bunch of rare resources around it. Definitely.
Unless
definitely
it's a glitched lake map and there's just one big lake. which could be possible, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But by the texture setting, you can clearly tell it's African Hall.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Anyways, so we've got on the underrated champion side, we've got Gorbaco 5 with Japanese and Comrade Taka with Americans against I with Lakota and QC Jonathan with Romans. Who do you think has the edge, both in terms of player strength as well as nations, and considering its watering hole?
Well, on whole, I mean, it's really just about controlling the water. There's no Spanish there, so that's, Spanish is really good for this map because you get that free heavy ship. You can build 2 docks before you mill, get 2 heavy ships. But I'd probably give the edge in nations to the QC, the Quebec team.
Yeah.
Goes just always dangerous. There's a ton of ruins on this map, so if he gets out scouting early, he can really get a fast start. Romans are always great with the towers. Can tower before mill, protect their wood, and then he can mill up and focus on the water. But Americans and Japs, no slouch. Overall, I would give the edge to the Quebec team, but we'll see.
All right, yeah, I think I would agree. I think Romans are better on this map than Americans, just because Romans have a bit more of a, a bit more advantages that have immediate sort of benefits compared to the Americans player, where you need to get classical age, you need to put down some universities, you have to actually put down a wonder, and it's kind of hard to spam barracks troops on this map when you really want to spam boats. So
that's right. And also too, if for whatever reason you ended up losing the water with Romans, you don't feel it as much because you have that gold income.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the biggest strengths of Romans. Just plus 10 wealth from each city is quite the benefit. It's completely free. Basically, you're getting plus 20 wealth starting at 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes, which is really, really excellent.
Yep.
Okay, so let's take a look at where the nations have spawned. We've got Gorbaco 5 and Comrade Taka, the team of underrated champions, on the top side. They're a bit separated, but they have control of roughly half the territory. And compared to the other side, we have Jonathan is on one side against the lake, whereas I is all the way in the back. Who do you think this favors in terms of positioning?
Well, this is kind of a standard build for Lake on this map. Just stay in the back. You can go scout, look for a bunch of wood, and it looks like he's got a great wood camp very much near his capital, so that's great. He doesn't have to do a whole lot of looking for wood. And he's kind of piggybacking onto Rome, so they can kind of go either way. So I like their this kind of setup for them. Not that the underrated champions have a bad setup per se, because they both have water as well. But having Lakota in the back like that, and as you know, you can't see their borders, so it's very difficult to find them.
Yeah.
And he's white color too, which, funny enough, white or yellow Lakota actually makes it that much more tricky, because it's just kind of a dull, or it's a color that it doesn't pop.
Yeah.
So you can kind of be a little bit sneaky with that too.
Yeah, that's true, definitely. Let's take a quick look at the ruin counts. Okay, so it looks like the Japanese player Gorbaco 5 has only gotten 1 ruin, and I's gotten only 3 as the Lakota player. But looks like Comrade Taka's been fortunate with 125 ruin resources, and Jonathan's not doing bad, too bad himself, 100. Looks like the Japanese player has gone for Commerce 1. Looks like it's going to be able to grab water, but doesn't have a citizen near there quite yet. On the other side, here it's interesting to play. We see Taco has chosen to skip the 5th farm and just go straight for the library. How do you feel about this choice? Old, are you here? We may have lost Old for a moment. Anyways, it's definitely... Oh, hello. Okay, sorry. I thought we lost you for a moment. I was just saying, Taco has chosen to skip the 5th farm and just gone straight for the library.
Yeah, I've seen that done on this map and on water maps in general. I guess the idea is just try and get to the water because the fish are just more valuable than a farm.
That's true.
And save that wood and use the wood for a dock, use the wood for a fisherman rather than for a farm. So not necessarily a bad play. I mean, as you can see, the Roman, he's already collected 130 gold. and barely 5 minutes into the game, not even 5 minutes in the game. So that's already a huge gold advantage, multi advantage.
Yeah, it is, definitely. And the Romans players also chosen to skip a fifth farm. Definitely an interesting choice. I have personally not... Oh, it is now putting down a farm, question mark. I personally have not done this too often, but definitely an interesting choice. Let's see, the Lakota player has a dock coming up. Looks like the Lakota player does not yet, which is interesting. Has a bunch of floating resources.
He has Civ already, so he can... Not sure what he's... I don't even see any citizens near the water yet.
Yeah.
Let's look at this.
And so it looks like here we see some unfortunate wood spawn for Taco. Everybody else has at least a +6, but Taco's stuck with a +4, and the next best wood is a +3 in the territory. So unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit annoying, but Taco has gone for that Civic 1. Maybe go Civ back for this big wood over here. That seems like probably a good idea. Not sure.
Now let's touch on the rares real quick. If you look at Washington, they can see bison, which is a great rare, but there's furs there. They haven't scouted that, and it's right there.
Yeah,
and that would be a huge advantage for them. Just to get that cheaper mill, get some ships in the water, and for Comrade Taco's case, get maybe 1 or 2 units out just to get that +2 every resource per unit. So
yeah, +2 every resource per unit, yeah.
Yeah, so if you build a quick 2 or 3 units, you're looking at a +4, +6. I mean, that's like having another rare.
Yeah, it is.
And you can do stuff with them. You can raid with them, you can defend with them. So it's a very useful early eco move for American to do that.
Yeah. Definitely. And here we see Gorbako 5's already gotten out 2 triremes. The speed of the Japanese player definitely helping them out quite a bit. Would like to see another woodcutter's camp or something. Just try and max out that wood income.
Lakota's barely just getting a dock up right now, so he's definitely behind.
Yeah, definitely behind. Lakota does have the mill, but it's, at this point, the Japanese player probably should make another heavy ship and call it a day. Just hold off water for a while, deny water from their opponents for quite a while, force the economy difference to be quite large. Let's take a look at the economies here. Yeah, it looks like Taco is still just getting out some ships, some fishing ships, but should surpass Jonathan's economy shortly.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Japan's going to be able to hold the water early. So if they can, if the QC team can age quickly, that quickly switches things around because you get those fire ships produced out, and it backs up all these triremes, and it completely changes the water situation. So let's see if one of them tries to get a fast civ and start getting some fire ships out to kind of take back the water.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a look. So it looks like I is going for the city very forward. Actually, I do think this is a good city placement. First of all, you capture gems for the most part, and also you secure relics, which means even if your team does lose the water later on, you might still be able to win in a longer game because of relics.
Yeah, and also puts pressure on Kyoto, so the Japs player is going to have to be wary of a quick Lakota rush.
Yeah, and the Japs player has actually chosen to sit back without even scouting the Lakota city that has been placed down. I don't know if that's the best idea in going in blind like this, but it's going to end up working out. You don't really want to be close to a Lakota opponent who might be quite. Yeah, and look, this +60 food income for Jonathan is really hurting.
But I think you should put that mountain in the back. And as you know, on whole mountains are everything. You really need metal and wood, but metal definitely once you or classic age, classic wood.
Yeah, and it looks like Underrated Champions has still not scouted that furs, and in fact, Jonathan is now using it, the furs, to get extra food income.
That's hilarious, and they get that cheap mill. So let's see if Jonathan. If I look at his build, he skipped Civ so far. Maybe he can try and do Mill 2 with that furs and get an early attack in on Washington. Yeah. Maybe that could be a play.
Yeah. Would like to see some more boats coming out of both the Lakota player and Jonathan, it looks like. Currently the Japanese player is doing a good job holding them off, but the Americans player, they need to start making more boats. The American player needs to start making more boats, and it looks like Taco has heard my calling from the past and is now making a trireme. Unfortunately, these raids are quite good. This hoplite is going to kill this bison merchant. These archers are just harassing this citizen.
Yeah.
The economy is still very good though for Taco.
He's got the barracks up. He's getting an archer out now. It's going to help dispel some of this, but this raid is harassing for sure.
Yeah, and this barracks is not going to go up for the Japanese player. This is a bit of a forward barracks. It's it's kind of exposed. The citizen might even get killed by the other citizens attacking it. And the Japanese player, is definitely hurting resources-wise because they've had to make so many ships. Just continually making ships. And now we are at the 10-minute mark, and it looks like
he's been able to save them though, so the investment hasn't been all for naught yet. So it's just really frustrating when you start losing ships in the water, then you start kicking yourself in the butt. But fortunately, it looks like he was able to save a trimene and a bark, and he still has 2 trimenes out doing some damage, so that's good.
Definitely.
But Lakota's coming to Kyoto now. It looks like to do some.
Yeah, is this barracks going to get denied? No, it's going to go up, and that's really good for Gorbako.
He needed that, yeah.
Yeah, and surprisingly, what has Gorbako done with all the food? Everybody else is close to aging, but Gorbako's just really far off aging for some reason. Maybe he has made.
Well, it looks like he built another wood camp. He built another wood camp at the top, so that's 70 there, and then he's got another. What is that? 9 villagers up there. So do the math. How much food is that?
Yeah. So you only need 100 wood income to get that maxed out wood income. Gonna probably maybe not lose this archer. You only need a plus 100 wood income to get that maximum plus 100, and so 13 villagers is way overkill. Definitely going to slow down the aging time a lot, and it's going to hurt Gorbako in the long run. And Comrade, Taco, and I have both clicked up, and Jonathan's clicked up. I has actually gone for Mill 2, not using furs, despite the fact that Jonathan's merchant has not gotten scouted yet.
Yeah, that's interesting. The only thing I can think of Gorbakov is going for is a Mill 2. I mean, a Com 2. It's just because look at all his gold he has. He has almost 600 gold.
Yeah.
So maybe he was just trying to max out his wood and food, so that way, as soon as you immediately hit Com 2, all of a sudden you got this huge burst of resources. But that raid kind of stalled his plan, I think.
Usually what you want to do, though, is you just want to save food for Commerce 2 and then buy a bunch of food, and then you can max out your economy.
I agree. But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to figure out why he was going
why he's going for that,
The only thing I can think of is maybe something like that.
Good choice. Nice pickup here for the Americans player, Comrade Taco, getting that Colossus, as the Americans player is excellent. Also, this city is very important, holding the mine and the woodcutter's camp, so having the Colossus in the back, being more protected, is probably a good choice.
And he's got a nice, huge mine, too, so that's really good for him. It's a plus 10 mine.
Yep. Looks like Underrated Champions has taken control of the water, which is really good for them. They have 5 fish compared to their opponents. 1 technically that they could use, but they're not using it right now.
Yeah.
Still, this food income for Jonathan only plus 70. That's really hurting.
And plus 76 for the Lakota, so it's hurting them both significantly.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you look at Gorbakov's gold, I mean, he's looking almost like an Inca player at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
There's nothing you can do with it.
Honestly, at this point, I think getting Civ 2 is still, or Commerce 2 is still not a bad choice. You just click on Commerce 2, wait for it to research, buy a bunch of food, and then age. But it looks like Gorbako's not going to listen to me, and is going to go instead just for the straight age, which is still fine. Definitely slow.
Yeah, it's still fine, but to go into age 2 with 800 gold, I mean, what are you going to do with all that? Unless you can sell it. So he's going to have to, I guess, just try and get 2 universities up, spam out some scholars.
Yeah, that or go ham with the mine and just spam cavalry. And it looks like we've gotten Despot from Jonathan here. Still has plus 80 food. Not ideal by any stretch of the means, but has an aggressive push. He's getting up that siege factory. And he's gone Despot. Yep. has furs. You know, is working on that. They still haven't scouted furs. Still have not scouted furs.
Wow.
Americans play going for Republic. Good choice with the Colossus there. Here we see a little bit more water skirmishes.
And it looks like Quebec team definitely has the edge in rares right now. They're using relics, silk. Jonathan's using furs and cotton, whereas the other side they're only using. Let's see, what is that? Tobacco.
Yeah.
Japan and Americans anything. So even though they have bison right now. But you see the Americans with the senator now. His eco is starting to look pretty solid.
Beginning to pop
so
off, yeah.
And here come the fire ships, as aforementioned. These fire rafts really change the game in the water. If you can get those out,
definitely. Really nice of the Americans player getting this galley upgrade nice and early is a good choice, especially if you want to just make sure you secure the water early on. They have a huge wealth advantage. Just compare the Americans' wealth income, 113 to the 40 of Jonathan and the 30 of the Lakota player, and also like the 58 of the Japanese player. And it really looks like Taco's about to take over this game. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it really just depends on how this rush comes, because it looks like Rome's coming in. It looks like Japs are calling out that they have the city we win. But there's a nice Roman army that's coming in with an ambush.
Yeah, nice little ambush.
But there is a lookout. Yeah, but there's a lookout. There's a ton of archers, so that's going to do some damage on those Roman high. But there's one light horse, and as we were talking off camera, off stream, that one light horse, if used properly, could probably cut through half of those archers.
Yeah, so, definitely the micro.
Yeah, let's see if he can micro that properly. And
it looks like the army composition is not the army composition of Jonathan is just not going to work out against all these archers.
No, he needs to kill all those archers. But if, like I said, if he can get that he's got 2 light cavalry now. If he can get those back there and kill those archers, then it's an easy takedown of the city. Because even with 1 cavalry, with 6 legions, those things will shred a city.
Yeah, I would like to see them double one of their opponents here for QC. I would like to see I rotate, or maybe mostly I to rotate, considering how slow the Japanese player has been.
It looks like I's going for a militia rush on Kyoto. See this?
Yeah, and there's not as many defenses here. Looks like Gorbako doesn't even have Mill 2. Is just now getting militia. These units are unupgraded. This looks like a disaster.
Could be a sack at minimum. Could be worse. We've got 9 militia coming in from I, 5 hoplites, 3 catapults. This city should be melted down because there's no temple, no lookout. The Japs are at pop limit as well.
Yeah,
so,
and honestly, I really don't think this is particularly like I doing a good job of rushing. It's just the Japanese player just didn't do much.
Yeah, and here's a sack, and as we all know, a Lakota sack is one of the best because it just automatically raises all those farms. So as you can see, the Jap farms, just food income just disappeared essentially. Fortunately, he's got some ships in the water, otherwise he'd be at 0.
Yeah. So it looks like ultimately Gorbako's militia, counter militia is good. Yeah, I would have liked to see I try to save some more units, maybe go back earlier, and also just use up all these resources that I is in fact floating. So let's take a look at the other side here. Jonathan is still sieging, got a bunch more light horses, good, 4 light horses plus a cataphract, but it's going to be really tough to break 9 archers and 2 cataphracts plus a senator on the right territory. Looks like
and they're upgraded archers too, so they're a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and looks like Taco's gone for a good choice. Just bring the archers up a little bit. Continue, just start chipping away at the enemies. It's not like Jonathan can do much to hold off the attack. Jonathan here, this cataphract's going for a raid, but it's going to get chased down by the other cataphract. And finally, Taco scouts furs. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. But Jonathan was able to use it, so it's not a big deal.
Yep.
But Taco's still in a great spot. If you look at his economy, he just needs one more, and he's Civ 2. So
Yep.
that's just going to improve his economy even more, and you'll see him going H3.
Yeah, I would like to see more wood income though. As the Colossus, one of the best benefits of Colossus, honestly, is getting plus 50 timber income, or timber.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Commerce cap. And so that could
Yeah,
be really, really
timber
effective. You know,
and
maybe just
gold.
put another woodcutter's camp on the other side of Augusta, on the other side of that city. Here we see another push coming from I, this time with upgraded units against unupgraded units. Robaco does have the advantage of being on the defensive, but again, these...
And he does have a tower up and a lookout this time, so that's going to help. And he's got militia now.
Yep,
So
militia
it
are
looks
coming
like
again.
He may be able to hold this.
Not
Is he gonna
sure.
hold it?
These sieges are going to
Close.
get sniped by some heavy infantry.
Okay, lost his senator.
Yeah.
City's reduced, but he's got enough units to avoid the sack.
Yep.
The sack would be brutal because he built 5 farms. He would lose those all again.
Yeah, but fortunately for the Japanese
So-
player, all these farms are super cheap, so it's not like...
That's true. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. And he's got a ton
And it
of
looks
wood
like
income.
Jonathan is here to support, so it looks like they might finally be able to take the city with some units, although foot infantry are lagging behind. And it looks like
It looks like we're gonna
Taco
get a small
does see-
rotation from Jonathan.
Yeah?
Well, he's got some horses over here at least. Jonathan's rotated over to Kyoto.
Yep.
Let's just do this.
Yeah.
some
And
archers,
so it
some
looks like
archers.
Taco is also going back. Is going to try and fend off this double. Would like to see Taco just put down a siege factory, because that forces your opponent to not be able to double. That forces your opponent to stay where they are and defend their cities, or at least
Yep.
you can because at this point Taco's economy is out of control. It's just all about keeping Gorbaco alive, and Gorbaco loses the capital again. Obviously, there's no second cap sack, but
But Taco's aged, so and he's
Taco
got a
has
huge
aged.
army.
The units are not upgraded yet, but this is nice micro. Moving away these cataphracts. These ones are standing there, not the best micro, but now the senators here. All these upgraded archers against a bunch of damaged enemy troops could be okay. Robaco
Yeah.
takes back the city, does not have attrition, which would be quite good here.
Yeah, attrition would definitely be helpful, but it looks like they're doing enough to. He's doing some good micro with this with his Ashigarus to kill one of those catapults.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the other catapult.
Yeah, and it does look like Taco is able to hold off the assault, and that looks like honestly, that looks like GG to me. I think like Taco is way ahead of everybody else. Both their opponents are despot, while Gorbaco can have a little bit of time to boom back up. Japanese player again being able to spam out a bunch of farms, and Taco gives Gorbaco some resources. Looks like
Well, and at this point,
Yeah.
they have full control of the water. Taco has Colossus. He's age ahead. I mean, he can really start rolling.
yeah, definitely. I'm not really sure how I and Jonathan get out of this. Like, maybe if they can catch Taco off guard again and or do some nice raids in the back here, especially on the city of Augusta. That woodcutters camp and this mine are pretty heavily exposed, so a raid would be really powerful. Or even just doubling Gorbaco again, because Gorbaco is just recovering right now.
Yep. Yeah, they have options here, but as long as Taco doesn't do anything to blunder, they should have full control of it.
Yeah, all these crossbows. Crossbows are among the best units in the game, especially in Nomad. These crossbows are going to slaughter these legions. There's no question about that. Jonathan has gone for Commerce 2, which is a good choice. Doesn't have enough food to age, has plenty of knowledge. But, you know, there's no way they're going to be able to take anything on this side, because there's a fort, there's a keep, and there's now finally a siege factory coming from Taco. Would still like to see that wood income go up, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, especially like you said with Colossus, you want to get that as high as possible. But the gold looks like it's up there, plus 182. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is quite the gold income. Using, let's see how many fish. 5 fish.
5, yeah.
Yeah, only one rare. It's very impressive. Has that's part of the all these archers being really useful. And Comrade goes for Hanging Gardens. Doesn't really need it, but honestly, at this point, it's probably good just to deny it from their opponents. That could be one possible way their opponents could come back in this game.
And just when you see your resources building up, you got to use them.
Yep, that's true.
Just use them on something. So you might as well, if you're not, yeah, I probably would have spammed maybe some more troops here.
Yeah.
But it's still not a bad call, because also psychologically too, your opponents start seeing that Colossus and Hanging Gardens, and they have water. That you start getting in your opponent's head, thinking like, man, dude, how are we even going to have a chance to win this?
Yeah, and that is the question I'm asking myself right now. How are QC supposed to win this? Their rush failed. Both of their players are despot. The Americans player is just booming along and is pretty much double the score of both of them. And Gorbako is, even though took a bunch of early damage, is Senator and has plus 150 food income, is eventually going to age up as well. So how are they supposed to win this game,
I mean, I think the best option here is, it's not what Jonathan's up to. It looks like he's going for some kind of sneak attack on Washington, but his army's way too small. He's got only one catapult.
Yeah.
That's damaged already.
Perhaps this is a raiding party.
Yeah, but with the catapult, no. I think he's going to try and get some kind of, or maybe try to kill the Colossus or something. Maybe I don't know. But that's not the right move. I think the better option would be go back with stack up over at Oglala, and yeah, it looks like that's Jonathan's plan, is to kill the Colossus. But that's not even going to do anything at this point, because it's not like the Americans have a Colossus army anyways. If you look at the Americans, they're at 86, population 87. That can easily be covered with a Mill 3. That's not going to be a problem at all.
Yeah, and right now the strength of the Americans player is, like, it's just the economy difference, right? It's not like they're not losing because the Americans player has Colossus, although that is one reason. But they're losing because they're just way behind in economy and tech. Jonathan has aged up, has enough knowledge to age up. That relic's really helping, just get, even if you're rushing, just getting that relic early on means you can still eventually age up to medieval age, even if you're a spot player.
But if you look at Kyoto, all the archers are unupgraded. It's not a very big army. It's only one tower.
No, you're right.
If you just doubled your forces there and just sat there, you should be able to kill Kyoto. I mean, it should be able to, because the timer's not going to be too big. Maybe a 3-minute timer. So you just sit on top of that for 3 minutes, and then it's a 2v1. So then you put all the pressure on Taco. He's going to have to 2v1. Yes, he has Colossus, but it's still going to be tough because it's a smaller map, and you're dealing with two. So we'll see. Jonathan's just taking way too long here. You can see his army's just parked up here, taking a nap. I guess it's just it's tea time.
Definitely,
so they're rolling out the tea. They're bringing the crumpets, flying the crumpets in from London. Because Rome had London in the old days. So it's they're doing something like that.
Yeah. And here, this is another. I think this is still a little bit more of resource mismanagement from Gorbako's side. Both the despot opponents of age, and even though Gorbako took a bunch of damage early, Gorbako was able to get that plus 150 food income nice and early, but now is just doesn't have enough food for the medieval age, even though it has a bunch of scholars. Just a slight resource mismanagement. Here we see Tacos finally started sieging. Probably should make another siege. Oh yeah, it does have another siege. And probably needs to make some more fortifications, especially in this back city. Nice keep, another lookout. Good choices for both from Taco.
Yeah, and he's at 800 food. He needs to sell some of that and get some metal maybe going. He's going to put up a lookout to try and catch Jonathan coming around the top here.
Yeah. Honestly, this lookout's not even in the... Oh, here we go. Nice lookout. Suddenly sees the entire ambushed army. Sounds the alarm button. Or sounds the militia button, and... Yeah, this is a good...
Yeah, looks like he's going to go for the city. This is a bad move. Just a bad move. Because he's going to lose this entire army. and his economy just nowhere near Taco.
Yeah.
Even
Honestly,
though he's got
I
a bunch
think
of
yeah.
a bunch of
Honestly,
resources sorted out.
to me, I think it's a bad move on Taco's part. Just throwing in all these militia against these H3 H3 heavy infantry of the Romans. Militia are suck against heavy infantry. They're really really bad.
Yeah, especially aged up. Yeah, I agree on that part for sure.
Yeah.
But
Like
you can
just
see
look at
Taco's gonna
Jonathan's
rotate his
economy
army
now.
back. Yeah, Taco's gonna rotate his army back and kill all these guys. Well, look at Taco's gold, 250 plus flashing yellow.
Yeah, honestly, if Taco's given time to sit there, oh wow, what the heck? Taco loses the city. That seems insanely unlucky to me. Just needs to target
Yeah,
fire
he'll
the
get it right
city for
back.
2 seconds. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that seems insanely unlucky
Yeah.
for Taco there to lose that city with all these troops nearby.
Yeah, it's a bad break, but he's got a ton of resources. He'll get that camp back up, and I mean 600, almost 700 in food, 800 plus gold. Looks like Kyoto's getting pressure. And
Yep, Kyoto is
Ice
getting
bouncing
pressured,
back, set a
but
decent sized army. Still unupgraded archers. Not sure what that's about. Oh, it looks like it's coming up now. He's got crossbows coming.
yep.
So he'll be able to hold that probably.
Yeah, especially with the difference in economies, that plus 150 eco really helping out. Definitely would suggest to get Commerce 2 now, because you really need that eco to sustain this sort of assault against a Japanese player who's gone senator and has at this point a larger eco, despite that lackluster metal economy. Or metal.
It looks like Jonathan's going for the pyramid. He's got all research at level 2 now, so he's able to buy and sell as his com 2.
Yep.
He's able to get a 3rd city down, which he hasn't done yet. And then a 4th city with the pyramid. So I'm not sure why he hasn't put a 3rd city down yet. That would definitely help him significantly if he could do that.
It feels like Taco really gave a chance for for Jonathan to make something happen by killing all those citizens basically for free. Jonathan, that was really good for Jonathan, but unfortunately just had the army stay there, not run away and saved all of that army. I think that would have made a big difference.
And it looks like Ai's taking a bad fight here. The Japs are going to slaughter all these siege.
Yep.
So that's not going to work out very well. And Taco, if you look at Taco's library, he's in a position to age very soon.
Yeah. You're right, yeah. It only needs 400 more knowledge. That's going to be another minute at this rate, because this is every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Still, this army's a tad on the small side, and still Taco just has not replenished that wood income. Really would like to see the citizens' infinite queue in this back city to try and replenish that economy. But 4 sieges from Taco. Nice choice, considering especially the Romans player can just spam keeps and forts. And I says call GG, and the GG is called. Yeah, I agree. This game is over.
Yeah, it was a bad break.
Yeah, but I have to say MVP of this game definitely Taco. I think, made some minor blunders here and there, especially losing all those citizens at this top city, but otherwise played really well. Got Colossus early, was able to fend off a despot rush. They got control of the water early, and they, Taco did a nice rotation, trying to keep Gorbago alive on the other side, which was definitely a good choice.
Yeah. And if you look at the units built, surprisingly, Gorbachev had more built than Comrade Taco.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
Well, I think it's because we saw all those citizens early on, spammed a ton of citizens. So that
That's true.
And then another mistake here from Lake Lakota. Only 175 ruins. Definitely should have been 200 plus.
Yeah.
You shouldn't only have the third amount, especially on this map, because there's just so many ruins on this map.
Yeah, definitely. I also would have liked to see a stable in the back from the Lakota player to try and slow down the Colossus. the Colossus player. You know, we saw that city of Augusta, I believe, just get. There were very few defenses here, and that's why Jonathan was able to kill all of these citizens. Imagine if a horse archer or a heavy horse came by earlier and really wreaked havoc on Taco's economy there.
Yeah, all in all, early on, you know, the double despot put pressure, but they weren't able to execute, and great defense by the underrated champions. So, should we move to game 2?
Yeah, let's move to game 2. I'm going to update the scoreboard really quickly.
Sounds good.
So underrated champions takes game number 1. So the score is now 1-0. For those of you who are just joining us now, this is this is underrated champions against Quebec team. I'm AS Eat the Pair, and this is Old Dirty H on the line with me.
Yo yo yo. Into game 2.
All right, so let's open up. Yeah, let's open up game number 2. I've totally realized we forgot to talk about the bans.
Okay, you want to mention them real quick?
Yeah, I'll just say them for the purpose of recording. The underrated champions banned Japanese, British, and Greeks, whereas the Quebec team banned Turks, French, and Aztecs. Fairly standard bans. Those are among the better nations in the tiers.
Yeah, nothing shocking there.
Yeah. All right, let's load up game number 2. All right, I'm at 1 second and ready when you are.
Yeah, ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so let's take a look at the players' nations. This is a bit awkward. I was told that the players really messed up the picking here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
It looks like they've both gone for Tier 1 and Tier 2 again, even though I'm fairly certain Connor told them specifically after Game 1 is Tier 2 and 3. But looks like...
And also, too, Gorbakov just used Japs, so your team that technically Japs should be unavailable for that team. But look here, it's 2v2, so they're already fucking up anyways, so it's like, at this point, what are we really talking about here? So from the beginning, this is screwed up.
Yep.
So whatever. I mean, if Connor says it's okay, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
So.
But y'all, like, come on, like, there are certain rules. Like, it's literally on the tournament website. Like.
Well, it was supposed to be 3 versus 3 too, though. That's my point. So once you allow 2 versus 2, then you can allow bestiality and everything else.
Yeah.
So, that's what we're.
Anyways, okay, enough harking on them on that. So let's look at the nations. I think, for me at least, Japanese and Indians are definitely the better picks than Bantu and Iroquois. What would you say?
They can be. Where it looks like we're on Mesa. It really just depends on how Jonathan uses Bantu. Bantu can just be really, really frustrating early with those light infantry, which are great rating. Those little spearmen, they're so fast. They can run around, do a lot of bothering. But yeah, once you get it's kind of the late classical, especially once those Indian elephants come out, they're just so powerful. It's going to be tough. But I would agree. I'd say I'd give the edge to the Japs Indians combo.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, sure, Bantu definitely, like, part of their strength is, they have really excellent early rating units. Their barracks units are much faster. They can run away. Really, really powerful, deceptively powerful bonus. But it just doesn't really compare to the speed of the Japanese player. Honestly, at least that's for me.
And actually, the Indians aren't that slow either because, as we know, there's no ramping costs. So farms stay 40.
Farms stay the same,
markets stay 80, so you're able to just build markets in every city, temples in every city, spam farms, spam everything. So barracks, stables, and everything stays cheap, so you're able to afford a lot of wood.
Yep. And it looks like here we have a bit of an awkward wood situation for Taco. Unfortunately, the wood is all up on the cliffs, and Taco's in a valley, so it's going to have to walk all the way around. That's going to slow Taco down a little bit. That's the frustrating thing about Mesa. Sometimes you're just in a bad spot. Yeah. And here we see on the other side the opposite look. Gorbako has got an excellent wood camp, very sheltered, right next to the city with sugar, has plus 10 wood. Yeah, that's about the best you can ask for in Mesa. Yep. What's
really
the
on any
largest
map.
wood that you've ever gotten in a game of Rise of Nations?
13, I think.
Wow.
13.
Yeah, I think I've only gotten up to plus 12.
I think I've gotten 13, maybe 14. I can't remember. I probably took a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah. And we see here that I is definitely not a future architect. This farm placement, very unaesthetic, highly triggering. Anyways, let's look at.
I think what happens with that sometimes you just have a villager that's the nearest one by. You just grab them and drop a farm real fast, not thinking about it.
So part of what you want to actually do with farms is you want to keep them nearby the city. So if a raider comes by, you can easily garrison them. But on the other hand, you really want to put like your library and stuff in front of your city, so it blocks heavy infantry rushes as much as possible, limiting surface area. So what you want to do is you want to put the farms kind of around the sides-ish, basically. The other buildings in the front, and then maybe leave some space for a wonder or like a fort or something in the back.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Man, that 5th farm. Oh, let's take a look at the ruins here. Looks like so far not too many. The Iroquois players gotten 100. Jonathan and Gorbaco have gotten. Jonathan and Taco have gotten 3 each, whereas Gorbaco's only gotten 2. Yeah, this looks like a interesting setup here. We've got I and Jonathan pretty close together, and they're fairly close to Taco, whereas Gorbaco's kind of far away in the back. Definitely interested to see where all the players go Civ.
Yeah, it will be interesting. And then looks like as far as rares go, we got relics at Great Zimbabwe, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
You got peacocks there and diamonds, both visible.
Yep.
And bison, cotton's kind of up for grabs.
Yep. And then they've got wine in the top. All these rares in the top are a little vulnerable because you don't, they may technically be further from your opponents, but it's kind of hard to defend them. You got to put some more units there. There's gems and obsidian also in the top.
And then coming back around, you have amber.
Yep.
And then of course sugar at Delhi, salt, which is nice, especially for Japs.
Yeah, and then they've got wool in the bottom. What do you think the rares favor?
They don't know. I think definitely QC. It's favoring them with the diamonds and the relics.
Yeah.
But sugar's great. If they can find salt, and then the bison also, of course, is great. Cotton is also good if they can control that.
Yeah.
But it looks like underrated champions haven't done that great a job scouting the rares. So they know about salt and sugar. They know about obsidian and gems, but they really don't know, and they know about relics, but they don't know about the plethora of stuff they could be raiding, like diamonds, bison. So we'll see if that play makes a difference.
Yeah. So let's take a look at what everybody's gone for research-wise. Looks like everybody's gone for that standard Commerce 1 build. Not too surprising. The only possible...
especially on Mesa. Yeah. So it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
No, but it looks like this will be interesting if Jonathan can scout here. You see, there's a nice corridor going west that goes right to Kyoto. If he can scout and realize, you know what, I got a free shot at Kyoto. Let's see if he gets aggressive early, or if he just civs that way to kind of force Comrade Taco to civ back. Because, Bantu, as we know, you get that plus 1 city on the civ bonus, and they're extremely cheap. So he could throw 2 cities out and force him to go back. And then, unfortunately for this capital, it's kind of pinned between 2. So it's in a kind of death out here. Especially if they decide to double. That could be a lot of trouble for.
And honestly, I think Taco kind of has to go civ right here because Taco knows that Jonathan is nearby, knows that Jonathan has 2 cities as the Bantu player. If the Bantu player gets a city here on the high ground and can start sieging from the top with archers, that is really, really big trouble. That's one of the strengths of having that extra city, and it looks like Taco agrees. Is going to put that city on the high ground, make sure that the city the cities of Jonathan are not going to strand Taco's city in a vulnerable.
That's definitely going to help. But the trouble here now, if Jonathan realizes that and he civs along the bottom here, 2 cities along the bottom, then he's forcing the Japs up. So even if the Japs move his cap to the front city, that's trouble. If he leaves it in Kyoto, that's trouble. So let's see how they play this.
Yeah, and it looks like here we've gotten a lucky city placement. Taco was able to deny the opponent's market, which actually it's a misplay. I should have let that market continue, because one thing you may not know is when you cancel buildings in Rise of Nations, depending on what percentage you've built them at, they will cost you resources. Like you won't get it. Like if you cancel a market at literally 99%, it won't give you anything back, basically.
Yeah, I think it's once you get past 25%. I think.
Yeah.
You start losing percentages. I forget exactly what it is, but like you'll get a little bit back at like 18%, but then once you get past 25, you get nothing, something like that.
It's So what you want to do is you want to either let the building complete, or which would have been fine. You eventually lose the market, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, it'll bleed slow, and you're getting that plus 10 income. It's not like you can bribe it or anything right now. So
yeah,
it would have been fine to leave it, or you could just raise it later, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Here we do see a tower coming out of I. I'm not sure if it can hit that city. It looks like it can't. Yeah, looks like
I think he's just trying to keep the cotton out of. I think that's the idea there.
Yeah. Not a bad play.
And you can see it. You can see the sieve coming here at the bottom from Jonathan. Let's see where he puts his second. My guess is he'll just try and keep pushing and cutting underneath Kyoto, but maybe he'll put it somewhere else. I don't know. Oh no, he is. He's putting it on diamonds. That's not a bad move. Diamonds is heavily protected now with 2 there and a barracks.
Yeah. I actually like this choice. Something that players may not know is that when you have the cities push as the capital is actually way more. Capitals push way more territory than a regular city, which is why you see kind of like this bowl-shaped space, and the city's kind of just like an outlet here. So it makes sense that even though Jonathan, this first city is in a good position, but still can't push that far into the territory of Taco, and instead goes for the city to protect diamonds, which I think is a good choice.
And of course, having gems is huge, which Taco's using, so that's gonna help push the borders back all.
Yeah. Where is gems again? I remember I saw it earlier, but
top middle, kind of top middle.
Yeah, slightly awkward. Taco has two merchants there.
Yes, well, they wanted to hang out. He came by, and he realized the other guy was showing up for work today, so he's like, you know what, I'll just hang out for a minute. We'll chat until I can find out where else to go. Should probably just move him over there to Obsidian. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or maybe go around the back and use wine. I don't know if they know about wine.
Honestly, I think here we see a pretty big blunder on I and Jonathan's part. Think about it. They're the Iroquois Bantu players, both nations known for early raids with infantry. And how many raids have we seen? No raids. I'm pretty sure there's been no unit kills.
Well, now we're seeing a raid coming from the. Oh no! Well, you're gonna see some now. Some archers are gonna stop this raid.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna force. There's 2 heavy infantry.
Sorry, where?
If you just missed it, they were just in the middle here by some heavy infantry, and they just.
Okay. Yeah, and it looks like Taco is going for mill. Again, I and Jonathan could have dealt some pretty serious damage to Taco early on, because Taco didn't even have mill, skipped mill to age fast, but they did it, and ultimately Taco was able to throw down this Colossus without taking any sort of critical damage early on.
Yeah, as you can see, Taco again showing his superiority with controlling resources and booming, and having Japs as a advantage as well. So let's get an advantage here. I'm a little okay. We see some Bantu highs coming in at the bottom here.
Yeah, and this is gonna be annoying. Definitely, they're gonna deny some of these cities. Yeah. Taco really needs to get up a barracks soon, or a stable, but probably a barracks because hoplites. Some poor micro lost a citizen. These hoplites are now just gonna be really annoying. This tower is not gonna go up.
Yeah, no, the tower's gonna get stopped. The Colossus is on hold.
Yep, so, only now getting a barracks.
I spoke a little too soon. I spoke too soon on Taco here. He should have had better defense. Now you're starting to see the proper Bantu raids we were just criticizing. Jonathan heard us. Okay, he's got some, you know, one of each unit coming in, which is really harassing. He's also got a citizen in there.
Yeah.
Great work right here from the bounty raid.
Yeah.
And good counter raid up top from I, finally. Starting to see some, he's kind of putting some pressure on the Amber there.
Yep.
He's getting forced back, but at least he's being busy now, being active with the Iroquois.
And let's look at this library from I. Wow. That is quite the library. Has gone for Science 2 and Commerce 2 before aging. Really, really interesting. How do you feel about this? I has Commerce 2 and Civic 2.
Oh wow, wow! I mean that's huge. That's really big, especially to have diamonds. He's got a really good gold income right now. Let's see if he could definitely. He's gonna go H3 pretty quick.
Yeah, I really like it. I was
like it a
not
lot,
expecting this, but you know I
yeah,
like
and
the
he's
play.
and he's yeah, and he's done some counter raiding, so it's not like he's 100% passive. It's not like he's just blindly booming. So he's you know, he's using the kind of terrain to his advantage. He knows there's a lot of natural defense built in. They have a nice tower right in the middle there, so that's gonna, you know, bottleneck that area. But I would like to see something go down to underneath Kyoto here. It's pretty much wide open. There's one barracks there. There's one tower. No lookout. No temple. Could try and go steal back real quick, you know, maybe, or at least just harass or do something.
Yeah. See, we see these units here of Jonathan's just being on the move. Definitely a good choice. Jonathan, as I understand it, is mostly a standard player, and so, you know, as a standard player, there are a lot of raids that happen early on. So it's, you know, it's definitely good for. It's definitely helping Jonathan here having that experience, being able to know where to raid, when's the most effective strategies.
Yeah, and it looks like they know about. Looks like I just found gems at the top, so he could start raiding that. He's got the citizen just sitting right there. If he's got the militia upgrade, he could just turn that into a militia and get 3 merchants right there.
Starting to just poke away at this gems merchant, and Taco still has not noticed this second merchant. Has finally noticed it. No, just kidding. Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, sort of noticed.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would love to see militia right here. He could kill these much quicker.
Yeah.
Just use a militia upgrade.
Yep, definitely.
Some good raids in the back from Bantu, just harassing Kyoto. You know, looking for merchants. So that's nice.
And it looks like I is not going for that despot rush that I thought might have been the case, but I doubted. And instead it's going for Republic. Probably a good choice here, given the situation. It's Mesa, so it's a little hard to get an early attack. Their opponents did take a bunch of early damage, so it's not like they're likely to outright kill them.
Yeah, and he's I2 Civ 2, so that's definitely a position to boom a little bit.
Yeah.
And keep, you know, he's just got to get these resources up. You can see his resources look more like despot resources rather than
yeah, it needs to get that economy up, you know. Having
plus 215, yeah, because of diamonds. It's huge.
Yeah. You know, extra commerce cap's only useful if you can fill it out.
Here's a raid on the gems finally.
Yep,
Proper raid.
nice play. Gonna take on that merchant. I think the earlier merchant was killed by that single citizen. The citizen has blood on their hands. A murderer, I see.
Yeah, they're serving their nation. So.
And I want to see what's going on with Gorbako here. Gorbako's we've kind of not talked about Gorbako too much. Has a couple of units that's good for defending early raids. Doesn't have Senator yet. Has now just clicked up on Republic. Nice choice.
It looks like he decided to go Mill 2 first.
Yeah.
To get down that siege factory. Only 1 elephant. I would like to see at least 2, because as we all know, elephants are just the strongest unit in the game.
Yeah. Looks like Gorbako is not really listening to you, and instead chosen to put out some heavy cavalry, which I mean is a fine choice. You know,
it's not bad, but you have the reason you take Indians or Persia is to get those elephants out. So at least I'm not asking for elephant spam here, but at least get 2 out. Come on.
Yeah, because elephants are quite good.
Oh, they're amazing, especially in classical. But he is getting 3 sieges out, So it looks like he's ready to do some damage here. He's got
Yeah.
a nice high ground position, so he'll be able to siege from the top of this cliff, and he'll be able to take out, probably all that stable, that temple, that barracks, and then work
Yeah.
his way into Chitinago. Probably be able to even siege the city from up there as well.
Yeah. Just park the army right here on the hill. The archers get extra attack bonuses. Would really, really like to see a scout coming from Gorbako because, as the Iroquois player, you can just sneak units in through friendly territory. They're going to be hidden. Just has a free ambush that's going to be really annoying to deal with. Here we see Ai is almost getting close to aging, honestly. 11 Scholars is not using relics, I think. Yeah, is not using relics. That's a crucial mistake. Relics are obviously great. Finally has sent a merchant there, but should have sent one much earlier.
Yeah, it looks like actually Gorbakov is using relics.
You mean Jonathan?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan's using relics.
Yep.
And as you can see, he's close to aging Bantu.
Here we see a siege factory from Jonathan coming up here. Honestly, not the greatest placement. I think the siege factory would be much better down over here and make the siege factory up here, because this way you can at least be a little bit more. Oh, actually, never mind. Considering that this siege factory is here, it's fine. Looks like Ai's gonna go around the top to be aggressive.
Yeah, and let's see if looks like they're gonna try and put a city here. If they see that, can they stop it?
The city of Gorbakos? Yeah, it looks like
I think
they do scout the city.
Yeah, he's gonna see it. Yeah, he's got a siege coming. They're gonna stop that. Temple's up, so he's not gonna be able to build there anyways once they siege it down.
Looks like there was an alright fight for Gorbako here. I don't know why what is happening here. No, but you have so many more cavalry. Just bring your cavalry back. No, these
he's got
are gonna
6
get
heavy
sniped.
cavalry. Yeah, he's got 6 heavy cavalry and an elephant. And
Yeah, you definitely have the
spot.
army advantage. I don't know why you're falling back attacking attrition, and even then, you just want to keep your units alive. Here, Gorbako's desperately trying to build a city. It's not going to work out. Gonna get denied all these units there. And Ai's gonna age momentarily. Just click on that button.
Jonathan just clicked. Jonathan's aging.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm not really sure what is Comrade up to. Comrade does not have the knowledge income to only plus 20.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even
It looks
close.
like look at Jonathan's knowledge income plus 125. It looks like they're in huge trouble. Just gonna lose a long game despite having Colossus.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bantu is basically a baby Colossus anyways, at least for pop limit. Plus you have relics, so, that's, they also are using wine, which is another plus 10.
Yep, that's
so he's
true.
getting a lot of bonus.
Yeah, and it looks like Gorbako's investment in military early on didn't really pay off. Sure you put some pressure and you forced Jonathan to move units around, but it's not that effective. I would have liked to see an elephant raid earlier on to try to do some damage.
And now we're seeing a couple siege coming around from Taco, but that's not going to do anything. Those are going to get killed immediately as soon as Jonathan upgrades his army. And now you can see the score. Ai's starting to take the lead here, and Jonathan's not too far behind. But that said, Taco and Gorbako are not that far out of the game. I mean, they're still in the game.
No, they're not. Yeah. It's just they need to make something happen within the next couple of minutes, because their knowledge incomes are just very low compared to their opponents. At least 100 for both of the QC players, compared to 60, 50 for the underrated champions.
Yeah, now we're seeing a nice skirmish at the top here. Gorbako was just sniped Ai's senator, and now he's sieging down the stable. And it looks like
nice
he's
play here.
Push up top. So this is a nice. And Ai still hasn't upgraded any of his units, so he needs to do that as well.
Yeah, honestly,
it looks like he's rotating down. I'm not sure.
Yeah, at this point, Ai really needs to max out the economy. Ai has a similar economy to Jonathan, even though Ai has the much higher commerce.
Yeah, the
commerce cap.
Com 2, and yeah.
Oh, here we see a skirmish going on. These knights are gonna wreck some havoc on these archers.
Yeah.
Nice little trade for Jonathan here. Probably gonna be able to catch these catapults, maybe. Yep. Nice
Maybe.
little trade for Jonathan there. Yeah, those trades add up.
Oh
especially
yeah.
considering
Yeah,
like,
especially
looks
catapults.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, Taco's just stuck in a tough position, you know? Either has to keep the army stuck down here, or goes to the top, but going all the way around this cliff is a big, big walk compared to, you know, Jonathan, who can pretty much sit here for a while, can go around, which is not nearly as far, and also I can really just put pressure.
And now we're seeing I rotate to the middle here and go for Heroes. And it looks like he's going to take this city pretty much unopposed.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt Taco a lot. Losing.
Yeah, and look where Gorbakov is. Gorbakov's just so out of position here. He's got to rotate around this cliff. It's going to take him a while to get down there.
Yeah. Honestly,
but he might make it in time.
Yeah, I feel like Gorbakov just needs to put up some static defenses at the city of Ahmedabad, and then just park the army in this center area, because you need to keep your allies' units there, and this is kind of a staging point for the QC team. If Gorbakov can take the city of Chittenango, then that could really throw a wrench in their plans. At that point,
and you're seeing
Gorbakov could rotate a lot easier.
Bantu harassment at Kyoto. This is just really stagnating Taco's economy. Even though he's got a bunch of resources built up, but look at his food and his gold.
Yeah, really needs a really needs a attrition here. That this type of play is pretty easily countered by attrition, but currently
he's got plenty of gold and metal to do that. He can do the attrition, and also a fort would be nice.
Yeah.
To get some defense there. It looks like he's aging now finally, so that's going to help a little bit, make those cities large. But I think Hirozumi's done. I don't think they're getting that back anytime soon. Oh no, they did. They just got it back. I'm sorry.
No worries.
They got it back. So good job, Gorbakov, rotating back down. Finally, he's got 5 elephants, so that's good. Now you just got to protect him from any potential spies here. But I don't see a fort from any of the QC guys yet. Oh no, there's one. Bantu has a fort, but no science 2, so you won't see any spies yet.
Yeah, and now they're in big trouble here for at least on Common Taco's side. You know, just parking the army here for Jonathan, getting rid of that caravan, just continually killing units, and Taco still doesn't have attrition. It's really, really hurting. And Taco can't do much against these crossbowmen until Taco has upgraded knights, but you need wealth to do that, and you need a caravan, and you can't get the caravan because the army's parked there, and you can't fight the army because you don't have any knights.
Yeah. And he's got now Comp 2 coming from Bantu. He's got almost 1,000 food, so that's going to help him boost up his resources and start spamming some infantry out.
Yeah. Here we see a rotation from I going down all the way around. I think it's fine. Jonathan doesn't really need the help, but it's not like if you lose the city here, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Whereas if you knock out Taco and you take the Colossus, that is a game.
That's huge,
to be sure.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. No, this was a play that I was calling from early on in the game. I thought maybe they would have done this pretty much from early classy.
Yeah.
But now we're starting to see it in kind of mid H3 here. So let's see if they can get this. Yeah, if they can control Kyoto, obviously not only is it just the capital, and the Senate's nowhere near being raised, you're going to have control of the Colossus. You're going to damage Taco's metal income because he's got 2 mines going here. He's got a +7 mine and a +5, so that's +12 metal that'll be gone. Pretty much all of his metal is gone at that point.
And a really nice play here from Jonathan. This is something that you see some advanced players doing. Splitting off a couple cavalry. Oh, and this is a big rush. Here we go. It looks like there's no way Taco's going to be able to hold the city. There's just way too much army here for both I and Jonathan. Sacked. And unfortunately, Gorbakov's taking the city, but it's not going to be enough. Gorbakov's still way behind in technology.
That was a useless city. I mean, there was a wood camp there, but it's nothing that's going to,
And they're going to give away Colossus now, too. This looks like a disaster for the underrated champions.
Yeah, big blunder here. Big blunder.
And
I understand Gorbakov's trying to do something. Something's better than nothing. They do have a free shot at the Iroquois cap now, but you've completely taken out your Colossus player.
Yeah, and giving away Colossus, it's going to be really bad. Surprisingly, Taco's been able to hold well, but unfortunately now the city goes down. Jonathan gets the cap sack, and I have to give credit where credit's due. I think I made an excellent play in rotating. Ultimately sees that Gorbako's in no position to go and help his ally, and ultimately just goes and takes the city. Those extra units, really speeding up the process.
Well, let's see here. I mean, look, Taco's still got a bunch of resources. He can build FC. Forbidden City's available. If he can get somewhere and just survive. There's a huge army coming into the Iroquois capital, unopposed. That's probably going to go down here pretty soon. Gorbako's got a huge economy right now. Let's see if, and there's 4 minutes on the timer, so there's plenty of time to get the Forbidden City up. Maybe they'll go that route and try and win that way.
Yeah, perhaps. But honestly, I think, even if at this point I loses the capital, they can also Forbidden City, right? I can also build a Forbidden City, and it feels like Jonathan could probably win in a 1v1 with Colossus, and now is also putting up Hanging Gardens. Jonathan could probably win in a 1v1 against Gorbako. So.
Yeah, and being Bantu as well.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be a big problem. This cap sack is going to help for Gorbako here. Getting plus 500 Evolve resources, has gotten Mill 3. Let's see if they've got a castle. Or they haven't got armor quite yet. They have a castle. No, they don't. Big mistake.
It's a 4-minute timer, so they have plenty of time to go back and take that cap. Still no Forbidden City out from either side.
No.
So I don't know if the play is to try and take back the Japanese capital. I think that's just get the Forbidden City is the best option for Taco right now. Just go Forbidden City, try and bounce back as best as you can. Gorbakov's rolling right now. He did go Mill 3, so he's got a nice sizable army. Yeah. It looks like he's doing a lot of damage back here. Yeah. He's going to take another city.
But it feels like I can just put up the FC in Jonathan's territory near the bottom, and that will be good enough. Jonathan just needs to sit here. It's not like Taco can do too much, and then Ai's army can keep Gorbako's army harassed, and just keep them busy despite like look at how many elephants Gorbako has. Gorbako has 12 elephants. That army is going to crush any other army that faces. But,
and they're age 3 elephants. They're just pretty much unbeatable.
Here we see a nice play from Ai trying to snipe these sieges. Also captures the capital again because Gorbako didn't think to repair it, unfortunately.
Yeah. But Gorbako's doing a ton of damage here in the middle. Yeah, 12 elephants now. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, nice use of the Indian power. The timer here.
And no spies at all. So should get some spies out there because there's no scout there either with Gorbakov. So you could spy all those elephants, steal a few of them.
And Taco needs to put up that Forbidden City like now, or is going to die. The Forbidden City is coming. Now
Taco's going, but it might be too little, too late.
Yeah, I'm surprised I hasn't put down Forbidden City, even to deny the opponent.
14 elephants now from Gorbakov. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Got all these 15 elephants, in fact. Really nice play. I has preserved the army, which is a good choice. This army does have the advantage over the elephant army. It's just a little bit more mobile. These heavy infantry being fast. Iroquois obviously are good at hiding themselves.
Yep. Let's see, the Forbidden's at 20%.
It looks like it's not going to get finished in time.
No,
actually.
You're going to need a lot more than that. And if this goes to a 1v1, it's going to be kind of a coin flip because the Bantu's going to have Colossus. They have Gardens coming.
Yep.
They got a ton of knowledge. They're going age 4 soon. Age 4 soon. And Gorbako, unfortunately, is nowhere near gunpowder.
Yeah,
so
it looks like... Yeah.
Oh, I took the cap back again.
Yep. Again, Gorbako's army just split, unfortunately. All of these troops are way out of position.
Yeah,
and it looks like this game is going to go over. If you compare the library of Gorbako and Jonathan, there's a big stark difference between the two.
Yeah, he's still got a bunch of elephants, so he's going to be able to create some problems for a little while, but here comes the GGs.
Yep. Carmen calls GG with 15 seconds left. Should have put that Forbidden City up a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, it still doesn't solve their problems, and this game is very much over. GG. Well played on the part of Jonathan and I. Feels like...
Yeah, nice comeback.
Yeah, feels like Comrade and Gorbako had some... they had some misplays, but for the most part, they played well. It was just like they got out... They got out... Are maneuvered in army, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And
Really
it could have done a little more early. Could have done a little more early, but overall, it was just one of those back and forth games.
Yeah, really impressed with Jonathan's play here on the bottom side, especially parking the army, recognizing when he has the advantage. The Japanese player hasn't aged. Crossbows are really good at trading. And also the Japanese player doesn't have attrition. Really nice play on Jonathan's part. Just recognizing when you have the advantage and you can take, really press the advantage on it. Looks like Gorbako has taken the city back, but it's not going to matter because the capital's going down. And also, Jonathan should be aging shortly.
Yeah, Jonathan's going to age soon. And I's going to keep bothering.
Yeah, once again, takes back the city.
Yeah, Gorbako, there's no way he's going to 2v1 here against Bantu with Colossus. It's not going to happen.
It's Bantu with Colossus and Hanging Gardens. Looks like,
Yeah. I think
good attempt from Gorbako, but honestly, it's at the end, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, I think we just fast forward to the end.
Let's
do that. Coming back. Yeah. He might hold on for a little bit, but there's no way. But it was great play by both teams.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm at the end. It ends at 32.
Okay. Yeah, and Gorbako calls GG, and it is over. Let's take a quick look at the stats. Most kills, Gorbako, did a ton of damage with that, just marching the troops in, but ultimately was not able to make anything happen. And Jonathan, definitely I would say Jonathan was the MVP of this game, able to pretty much take on Comrade Chaka by himself, and ultimately was able to win there because of that heavy advantage generated on that side.
Yeah, and early on I thought Taco was far ahead with that Colossus, and he was looking very similar to how he played last game. But for whatever reason, he couldn't get his knowledge up, and I think that ultimately...
Yeah. The relics and the diamonds and peacocks really ultimately gave the game to Jonathan, in addition to some excellent play. I'm going to update the scoreboard really quickly, and then let's go to game number 3.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh, I don't know why I've been saying QC. Quebec team is QT. I'm sorry, folks. If that was confusing.
Yeah, QC and...
Oldie, your audio's been cutting out for a little bit.
Okay, let me try and change.
Yeah,
I'll just I'll call.
Okay, sounds good. Hello, can you hear me? No, just kidding. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. This is olddirtyh Pair talking. I'm joined by olddirtyh, who is calling me on Discord, so I need to answer. 1 second. Join call. Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Cool. So I was saying this is olddirtyh Pair, and I'm joined by olddirtyh. This is the group stage. This is underrated champions against Quebec team. This is game number 3. So far we've seen fairly convincing victories for both sides, even though the games were close. Ultimately, we're gonna have to. Really interesting. Really interesting to see what's gonna happen in game number 3. Who do you think is gonna win this?
Man, it's up for grabs right now. I mean, both teams looking pretty even. They're putting some good skills, some back and forth, some early attacks. I'm excited. This has been one of the most exciting series.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen some blunders for the most part, but for some of it, but we've also seen some really excellent team play from both teams. You know, we saw that double early on from Quebec team in game number 1. We saw Taco making a nice rotation to go and defend his teammate, and then in game number 2 we saw Jonathan really just take advantage of the situation that I was putting on the pressure on the other side and keeping Corbico distracted, and ultimately that's what gave them game number 2. So the score is 1-1. Let's load up game number 3. All right, I'm at 0 seconds. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. It looks like there was a pause at the beginning of the game, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Gone over that momentary pause, and let's take a look at the nations again. The players not really following the rules here. Unfortunately, we've seen. First of all, again, this is tier 1 and tier 2. They really should be playing tier 1 and tier 3, but they're not. Second of all, according to my information, underrated champions have banned Japanese and British, and what do we see here on the other side? Japanese and British. Guys, come on, get it together. Like, really, like, I don't know. There's just, I understand it's already 2v2, but like, really, we gotta try. And
well, this is a lesson. Okay, this is a lesson in life here. Once you make one exception, then you just have to make all exceptions, right? So as soon as you make an exception for 2v2, and it's like, well, we're allowed to make our own rules, so we're just going to keep making our own rules, unfortunately. Yeah. So that's what we're seeing. So, but anyways, at least it's been an exciting and pretty even series. So hopefully, and it's round 1, so hopefully after, once we get further into this, these guys will get their shit together.
Yeah, so. Definitely. As I understand it, Connor said there would be fewer exceptions for later games and later rounds. Looks like this map is lakes and not Sahara. Let's take a look. Let's talk about the nations in the context of like game and who has the advantages rather than roasting them. So on Comrade Taco has Americans, Corbico has Mongols, I has British, and Jonathan has Japanese. Who do you think this favors? This breakdown of nations favors?
I think definitely favors the British Japs.
Really?
Yeah, in my opinion. I mean, Americans are great because you can get that Colossus up, but in 2v2 you got a smaller map, so you can kind of be aggressive and boom both.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm leaning towards the QC team here.
Yeah, I think I would give the slight edge to QC, but I actually think Americans are better than British on this map because games often do go to the Gunpowder Age. Americans, first of all, they get that free scholar. Second of all, they get free government in Gunpowder Age, which saves them like 400 knowledge. That's a really big buff. And they can get an instant wonder, which is good. Either Colossus or Hanging Gardens are both excellent on this map. And then I think Mongols and Japanese are, they're fairly even. Japanese are definitely faster, and that is an advantage for Jonathan. Probably might be able to go for Colossus early on or Hanging Gardens, grab his choice, whereas Corbico might be a little slower. But I think the ranged cavalry and the attrition bonuses from the Mongols player are actually quite good. On lakes, raiding your opponent on land is underrated and can be quite effective, especially in later ages. Those late gunpowder raids are quite effective. Yeah,
definitely. No, I mean, I think you make some interesting points. Let's just see how the players use them. Really, that's what's going to come down to. And it looks like the Mongols have a nice, big, fat 5-fish lake. So if they can keep control of that, that's going to be a big advantage because all the other lakes are not very good. So it's a bunch of 2-fish lake and 1 4-fish lake on the other side. So that 5 fish is going to be key.
I do see that, that I think both of these lakes are pretty easily contested, at least the larger ones, right? Like, I just sieves forward, grabs that silver, and then puts down a dock at the 5-fish lake, and is able to contest it. Whereas on the other side, we see Comrade Taco just put down a dock there, maybe use copper, and then raid this 4-fish lake. So we might see some intense water battles, which would be quite exciting. On lakes again, it is also underrated to raid water. It can be white.
Oh yeah, and if you see in London, they have citrus right in the cap, so that's going to help them in the water if that does happen.
Yeah, and on the other side, we've got copper for Taco. If Taco chooses the sieve here, which seems like a pretty good choice, gets access to water, connects, is able to grab copper, and then also has this big wood camp as well as 2 mountains. Or wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry.
If you wanted.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, Taco's got it, yeah. And he's also got spice. We'll just run through the rares real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I have spice down there. He does not know about spice or copper yet.
Yeah. They've got silk in the middle of the map. Sugar.
Yeah, which is great, of course. And Dye. Dye
horses.
Dead in the middle.
Oh, Dye is right in the middle, yep. And then on the other side, I and Jonathan have got silver. They've got citrus in the top. They've got gems also in the top, wine in the middle. And they've got relics and obsidian. Who do you think the rares favor here?
Well, I mean, it depends who can control it. If silk, if they can keep control of that silk, that's going to help a lot. In the underrated champion side, you have silk, sugar. That's pretty good. Can help you be pretty fast.
Yeah.
But having silver, having relics, that's pretty unbeatable there.
Yeah, I think these rares, I think in a long game, Jonathan, I have the advantage. Silver is insane in longer games, and as is relics, both being really, really powerful rares. And they've also got a number of knowledge rares as well. On the other side, feels like even though Carmen Taco and Gorbaco don't have as great rares, they have something that can be here. And you know what this screams to me, what their rares scream to me? It screams to me Calm 2, Despot. They've got silk, they've got sugar, they've got horses, but they can raid both of their opponent's lakes, or they can raid their opponent's largest lake. They've got copper. It seems like a pretty much perfect setup for them. Maybe if they had like salt or something, or diamonds. It could be also.
Yeah, and if you could see where Gorbaco's, he's actually sieved on silver now. So let's see if he realizes that, and if they try and take control of silver.
Yeah, they have not scouted silver, whereas the other team has not either. Neither team has scouted silver. Unfortunately, a little bit sloppy scouting here early on. That is a crucial rare to miss.
Well, it is tough to scout this map because of the lake bodies. You don't necessarily know where to micro your scout. So
that's true.
Not completely unheard of. But silver being so close to the capital of London, they should be able to find it.
Yeah. Interesting choice from the Japs player going for that Civic 1. Usually on lakes you don't go for Civic 1 unless you have a good reason to. It's not like this is not super effective. Just putting what is this city supposed to do? You'd rather save up, build a couple more fish, and maybe go for Commerce 2 or something like that, or just go for the age early on. Maybe he's trying to grab wood. I don't know. There's a big wood in the back here for Jonathan. I'm not really sure what this Civ 1 is supposed to do.
I guess maybe that mountain, or maybe he's gonna try and get to die. I don't know.
Yeah, not really clear. Looks like the Americans player is banking some resources. Unfortunately, this fish is doomed to forever wander this two-fish lake. Very sad. Probably wants. Yeah, it looks like the Americans player has put down a dock at the other fishing area, which is good.
And now we're seeing a barracks come from I at the top here.
Yeah.
The British
doesn't have that much of an economy quite yet, but the early raid could be quite effective. Let's see if they've scouted silver yet. They haven't still, unfortunately for them. Yeah, neither team has scouted silver.
Neither team knows about it. I don't think they know about sugar either.
No, they don't.
That's a bummer.
And they don't know about silk either.
Yep, another bummer. And Jonathan's side knows about dye, so they could use that.
Yeah.
So
and they've scouted some of their more important rares. They've gotten relics and obsidian. I think they're missing gems near the top, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're missing gems near the top, and obviously as well silver. Crucial.
Yeah, but not knowing either
they
side,
do
not knowing
scout it
about
now.
silver is. Oh, they did find it. Okay.
Yeah, that's really good for them. I's going to be able to throw down a city easily, capture that silver, make it very safe. Especially as a British player, you know, it's kind of hard to make anything happen. Let's see if the other side has noticed silver. No, they haven't. And this barrack's about to get denied by these bowmen. The bowmen should target the citizen here, but
yeah, just pick off the citizen.
Let's see, is there a heavy infantry coming out? No, just another bowman. Yeah. And they still haven't scouted sugar or silk. This could be a very big missed opportunity. Especially, like, an Americans player maybe is going to go for... Yeah, it looks like the American player is probably going to age and going to grab a wonder. This looks like... Yeah, this Science 1, Com 1 build is, usually a sign that they're going for a wonder. Probably going to go for Colossus here.
That's what it looks like with the food and gold. Yeah.
What is the Japanese player doing? The Americans player is faster, or is a little on the faster side. Even though the Japanese player has mill and civic, but it's not entirely clear what the mill is for. Japanese player says, "I age to rush." I mean, sure, but they have the better rares. I'm not sure you need to do that. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And I mean, you have, British is border pushing with the Mongols. They have citrus, so they can get a dock, start harassing those ships in the water.
Yeah, true. Nice play here from Taco. This is a very nice build. Just getting up that Colossus nice and early. Probably should Probably should have gone for Mill 1 as opposed to Civic 1. First, you already have citizens doing things, and you should make some more citizens. Put down your Senate, put down a mine, put down a university, and you don't want to die to an early raid from Jonathan. Let's see if Jonathan is going. It does have a military building. The barracks is near the top. That is a sign that they're going for some aggression, as they stated earlier. Let's take a look. Gorbako has not scouted Jonathan's barracks quite yet, but once they see it, they're gonna be really need to put some pressure on the top. And honestly, now I'm thinking about it a little more, I don't mind Jonathan's choice. Taco is just kind of isolated in the bottom, can't really do much to help out the possible double on the other side. So I'm kind of
and it looks like Taco's he's just in a boom position because he hasn't even researched mill yet.
Yeah.
So he's not even thinking about it at all. The scouting, they haven't found that barracks like you said, so he has no idea what's going on up there. He's probably just presuming that the Japs player is booming as well, and they're going to be in for a rude awakening if they get this quick attack here on Tana, the city of Tana.
The British player has gotten Mill 2, has not quite gotten age yet. But will age in probably a minute or so.
Jonathan's calling for age 3 attack, but I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. I think they can get away with age 2, just like if they both.
Yeah, I think the early classy attacks, pull the trigger now. I mean, still no mill from Taco, so he's not going to be able to help for a little while. So he doesn't even have the food to age or to research. And I don't think he has a civilian up there.
Yeah, at this point, Taco doesn't need mill if Taco's only goal is to defend himself, right? Senator is more than enough to stave off some early raids.
We'll
have to see.
But that's what I'm saying. At the top, if they double at the top fast, it's pretty much.
Yeah.
Only Gorbakov can do anything. I mean, Taco's not going to be able to rotate or do anything because he doesn't have anything.
I like this Republic research from Jonathan. At this point, it's a little late to do a Despot rush that's going to do a lot of damage. You don't need to cripple your economy, and Republic seems like a good choice, especially considering no other techs. For the British player, I think a Despot's not terrible, right? The British, even though Senator is good, even though Republic is good for lakes, if you're going for some early aggression, Despot could be not a terrible choice.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see what they want to do here. Eye's finally aging. It seems like we got a Mongol nomads coming out to go raid.
Oh yeah, doesn't have mill 2. You usually want to get mill before you click up.
Yeah.
And honestly,
yeah, so the 2 horse archers. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, Gorbako's been a little slow as the Mongols player. You know, doesn't have that many techs. Is only now clicking up to mill 2. Doesn't have science, even though it has the resources. Yeah, it's just a little slow for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what the reason is. I didn't see too much early damage. You know, may have lost like a citizen or 2, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. He has no government yet either. Looks like he's just coming in to raid. He's gonna go put some pressure on the wood camp over here. He's got a nice little raiding party. 2 lights, 2 archers, and a horse archer coming around. So
yeah, and it's just barely gonna miss that barracks, and that's a big deal, right? That they don't see that. You know, they're gonna eventually get doubled. Still doesn't have science. This runes only give 25 food, but this is a nice raid.
It is a great, nice raid. Yeah.
Currently, Eye has nothing going on. This horse archer is gonna deal a lot of damage. These slingers and archers are gonna deal a lot of damage. And it looks like Eye's just gonna run in, and this horse archer is gonna have a feast here. Gonna get a bunch of kills.
Oh yeah.
These citizens are just sitting around. You really want to just, if you're doing this, you have to attack move them all and just get a nice surround. But
yeah,
Eye's losing a lot of citizens.
Yeah, he lost about half of the citizens there. He started off with 12. He's down to 6.
Yeah, and some nice micro
5.
from Gorbako getting those weakened slingers back.
Yep.
And some really spotty micro from Eye. This
and look at the horse archer hasn't
like
been
10
touched.
kills.
Yeah, and he hasn't been hit once. Completely healthy, and he's still doing some work.
Yep, still just slaughtering citizens nonstop. Gonna get.
And I like how he's focused on the citizens, and then he's gonna be able to take out this merchant pretty much whenever he wants.
Yeah, and so it looks like we've got Senator from Eye, but honestly, that raid actually, I think Gorbako's now ahead slightly on this side because Eye's not going to be able in a position to do much of anything until he's had a little bit of time to recover, and at that point, you know, it might be a little too late to do much to help in the attack. Japanese player has enough knowledge to age, does not have enough food. Let's take a look at the Americans player. Has a bunch of scholars and is now getting that second city. Also is building up some military infrastructure, siege factory coming, starting to bring out a couple infantry units, which is a good choice as the Americans player with Colossus, obviously.
And a little blunder in the back here. He left that nomad a little too long, and I was able to bribe it. So he brought him over to his faction now.
Yeah.
So now he's got himself a nice
spotty micro, but that's... You know, still, I can't complain too much because that raid from Gorbako was awesome. That really, really hurt.
Yeah. And he's just come back now with 2 more nomads, if you see.
This is going to hurt. A secondary raid.
Yeah.
So just keep your opponent off balance. Unfortunately, there are British archers here for Eye and some spotty micro, but that's okay because
this
raid is still going really well. Going to kill a citizen, killed 3 citizens, and this nomad is still here to do some damage.
Yeah, those nomads they deal a lot of damage. They're great units.
What? What? Yeah, do you see this? Gorbako's gone for Despot.
Is that right?
What?
Wow, you're right. I guess he's getting a little desperate here. He's feeling the pressure.
What? What?
So he's got 3 sieges coming also. He's got 3 siege coming.
I mean,
he's just going for the all-in. He's going all in.
I mean, yes, but no. Like, the Japanese players, like, what? What?
Yeah, he's just going all in.
I'm so confused right now. Why?
Well, I think that's what it is. Well, he saw the Japanese player age. He feels like those raids are doing a lot of damage. So he's probably thinking, you know what? I got him on his heels. I'm just going to go all in. He's got a good knowledge income. So he's going to be able to age, relatively soon. So even though his economy's hurting, he's got good gold and wood. He'll be able to spam out some more horse archers or regular archers. That's the only thing I can think is he's just going to try and use that despot, get some plunder, and keep 91 on his heels, but he does not know that 90 is up there. So I think that's.
I mean, maybe their strategy is let the Americans player give the Americans player a ton of space, just let them sit there forever to boom, and once if Gorbakov applies pressure, then I and Jonathan are forced to hold them off on this.
Yeah, that's what it looks like because you have Colossus already. Here comes the Garden.
Yeah, and that's gonna skyrocket the build speed. Although I don't really, if this is the strategy, why is Taco upgrading units? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. You also have Gorbakov. He's just gonna keep putting pressure here with these 3 siege.
Oh, you're right. It might be Gorbakov, not Gorbakov 5. Anyways, yeah, I don't see a merchant or a caravan from Gorbakov either, and also they still haven't scouted Silk. That's
wow.
painful.
No one has, huh?
Yeah.
But they're using die at least. At least Jonathan's using die. This is nice pressure here on Runnymede. You're gonna take out all the silver.
Yep. This is the example of poking, right? Should definitely just go forward and just poke. See that there's no army. Good choice. Is able to take it out. And Kamatako says, "Hold, dude." I mean that seems like the right strategy. It looks like Gorbakov's doing all right now. This city's very exposed. The army's out of position. And the British player has not recovered from that early raid, and it looks like it is going to pay off ultimately. This actually, there's 6 heavy infantry from Jonathan that are going to save the day here, and Gorbakov really needs to get these archers upgraded, otherwise.
And it looks like Taco's going to plan an attack on the middle here on Fushimi. He was going to try and sneak in, but then he realized it was attrition. Wisely come back to heel. He's going to get a supply wagon out first. He's getting one more catapult. 4 catapults, supply wagon. Yeah. Now a really fun move to see here since he's in such boom mode. Down a terracotta army. Americans with terracotta army and Colossus is just so much fun because you're getting all those resources. You're getting a ton of light infantry free. So that's
and a good choice here from Gorbakov to go back before taking too many losses. A bunch of these units are damaged, and the opponents now have a lot more army on that side. Let's take a look at the Japanese
he's done a great job.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say Gorbakov's done a great job raiding and just harass. So he's kind of, he's playing Mongols the way Mongols are supposed to be.
Yeah, definitely.
I see the Japanese here going mill 3.
Aside from the despot, which I still think is a major oversight and definitely not a good idea. Gorbakov's making it somewhat work. Ultimately in the long run, it's gonna hurt really badly. But for now, Gorbakov's doing okay. And it looks like here we see Taco is going for an aggressive push with a bunch of catapults. Good choice. Jonathan's prepared with a fort, but ultimately it's gonna be tough to hold the line for super long. Would like to see. 4 trebuchets will do a lot of damage too. So that's true. That's true. Nice. That that Taco has gotten a lot of units, at least sieges, but Taco needs more units. It
looks like Gorbakov's going to take Runnymede. You see this? He's taking Runnymede.
Oh yeah. And this is probably just the fault of I and Jonathan just not paying attention. There are 5 heavy infantry garrisoned here, and this is a good play by Gorbakov, just continuously denying that silver, and just being really annoying about it. Nice play.
Yeah, and he's going to age soon. He's got the he's going to quick age here, so that's good. So he's not too far behind. Yeah. So now the issue is they're going to have to kill soon because Gorbakov's not going to be able to keep up in the age. It's not going to happen. I's still pretty far behind himself. But as you can see, the Japanese have already got mill 3. So they need one more research. They'll be able to age. They'll get silver back, I'm sure, eventually at some point. Now we're seeing a little skirmish here in the middle from Taco. Let's see if he'll be able to take the city at Fushimi. but it looks like it's pretty well defended.
Yep. And here we see some decent, I was about to say decent crossbow micro, but it looks like Jonathan's just let them just sit here. Would really like to see Taco have the troops on stand ground, so they don't run in against these crossbows. And also, this is where Taco's lack of army is really hurting. Just needs more crossbows to trade against these other crossbows. Because right now, Jonathan can just continuously annoy with all these crossbows. Has healing from the Senator, so just continuously harassing Taco's army with those crossbows. Looks like both players have gone for Science 3.
Yep.
I want to see what's happening on the other side here. Both players have aged
So
on this side.
Jonathan's getting literacy, so he's going to be able to age pretty quick as soon as he gets his knowledge up.
Yep. And on this side, Taco can research literacy, but has not clicked on the button yet. With plenty of resources floating. This is really bad.
Yeah, he's got a ton of wood. Yeah, a ton of wood.
Just click on the button. Painful.
Yeah. And he could, since he's got Colossus, he might as well get one more caravan out, get some more gold.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's got, Colossus, you need to get your gold income up, and you get the population and the wood, so you gotta use them all.
But if Jonathan does take this city, that is a big deal. There's a university full of troops, or full of scholars to be used, and Jonathan needs to get tactics now. Taco doesn't have Mill 3 quite yet, but is now spending resources. Still doesn't have literacy. Oh, that's painful.
Yeah. And it looks like the tower's going down. This castle might go down.
Yeah, those 4 sieges are a good play, but Taco needs more army to support it.
Well, he's only got to worry about these crossbow and a couple spies. He's got a scout. He's not upgraded.
The scout is in the back, and also it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like it's not an explorer, so.
Yeah, you need the explorer for sure. The scout's not very helpful.
Yeah, and Gorbakov says faster, which I think Taco wouldn't be on such a clock if Gorbakov had gone Senator.
Yeah, I agree. And now looks like we've got a high raid coming around the top here. You see this?
Oh yeah, this is going to be pretty devastating if Gorbakov doesn't have enough units to defend against it. It's pop capped. It's hurting. Let's take a look here. See, these crossbows are still really effective on Jonathan's part.
Gorbakov hasn't upgraded his archers yet. He needs to do that immediately.
Yep.
Get those crossbows.
Yeah, this is another example of the despot just really hurting. That economy is just so low compared to his opponent.
Yeah, and he's hitting pop limit now as well. This is great defense here by Jonathan using the water. I really like to see that. You get those 2 light ships out, those barks. They also act as scouts too. So,
yeah, that's true.
A lot of players don't know that, but they can see spies. They can help pick off spies. They can see ambush, and so those are good to have as little support units. I would like to see one heavy ship though. They have a little bit better range. They do a little more damage.
Yeah, that's
land
true.
Units. But it looks like the fort's going to go down anyways, even though Jonathan's making a good defensive stand here.
Yeah, so there's some pretty big misplays actually on either side here. First of all, Jonathan hasn't gotten tactics, has had plenty of time to research that, but just hasn't. On the other side, Taco still doesn't have literacy and also doesn't have Mill 3. And does Jonathan have a castle? Yes, Jonathan does. Or, sorry, Taco does have a castle, but Taco has not researched literacy nor Mill 3. And that's going to hurt.
And it looks like Taco's putting pressure. I don't know if he's going to be able to take this.
No, I don't know. It's going to be close. There's only a couple crossbowmen here, as well as 2 spies, but...
He's got 2 light cavalry just sitting in the back taking attrition. He needs to get them up and get them working on his crossbows.
Yep.
And he got bribed. Look at this. At the top here, forum, you have these spearmen. They took down the tower. Now they're going to the sack. And they...
Oh, yeah, you're right. They just muscled through the tower. Wow.
Yeah, they took down the tower. There's no temple, no lookout, no support.
It is a large city, so
unfortunately,
it's going to take a while to go down.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while, but they're Japanese, so they do a little more damage in this building. Gorbakov's at pop limit, so he can't really do anything unless he
And it looks
rotates
like
back. And
Jonathan's going to lose the city. Looks
Wow.
like
Yeah, he is.
ultimately Taco is able to just pump out more troops. Unfortunately for him, Jonathan is now going for age 4, and because Taco has not researched literacy, and two has also not clicked up on Mill 3, it's gonna fall behind in the tech race. These sieges are also not targeting correctly, should be targeting the keep finally, which they do. And just needs to make some more units, because that's the advantage that Taco has right now, just has more units.
Yeah, definitely. But it looks like if Jonathan can steal this capsule, that's pretty funny. And
Yeah, that would be pretty
needs-
funny.
it
The
needs
city's half
800 more.
reduced.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Oh, what? How did this happen? Looks like
Yeah.
Gorbakov was able to take the city and also destroy basically all of Ai's army. That must...
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
he
sure how
just-
that happened, but it must have been a misplay on
I think it
Ai's
was
part,
yeah, it was a misplay, and then it was a pretty good micro by Gorbakov using his cavalry to pick off. You see he's got a nice heavy cavalry. He's got 8 heavy cavalry and 3 light cavalry, so that just blows through our archers.
Yeah.
And now he's rotating back. Can he save the sack just in time? He's trying to get a temple up. And
I'm
he
at
just
2620 right now.
Oh, okay, I'm 20 seconds ahead.
Okay, no
Pause it
worries.
for a second.
Yeah,
Just go.
going for that temple, gonna try and save it. Lookout is there.
Yeah. He barely saved the sack, just barely.
And here we see they're still skirmishing on. This fight has been happening for a really long time. And Taco has finally gotten literacy, as I saw earlier. Still doesn't have Mill 3, has chosen to go for Commerce 3 instead. City's gonna go down, and it is finally lost. But ultimately, I think Jonathan got the better end of that trade, you know. Taco took a while to just pump out troops and stuff. Now, if Jonathan can get Monarchy and make some upgrade the troops to Gunpowder Age, you know, easily takes back the city and rolls through Taco's defenses.
Now here's an interesting move by Taco. He goes Com 3 instead of Mill 3.
Yep.
And then he's gonna age. I'm not sure about that move.
Yeah. The reason Mill 3 is good for viewers who are new to Nomad, Mill 3 is excellent because you get access to the tactics upgrade, which increases the armor that your generals give to your army, which is a huge army upgrade. Armor is incredibly important, reducing a bunch of damage that your units take, and generally just makes your army a lot more tanky compared to your opponents.
So, you know, as we know, the Americans get the free government upgrade, so we'll see what he chooses to go with there. He's in a boom situation, so he may actually go democracy, but we'll see.
We'll
what
see.
he
Yeah.
does.
I think what do you call? I think Monarch was probably the better choice here because it looks like it's going to be a straight up cavalry race, and it looks like it's probably going to end up being Taco who has to do the one who's going to be the aggressor. You know, even though Gorbakov does have the advantage here because I don't know what Ai's doing. You know, it's
and if you look at the Gorbakov's library, he's behind, but you know he's slowly coming back.
Yep.
If
Now
he can start
researching
focusing on
science
his eco,
too. Yeah.
Yeah, if he can start focusing on his eco. Oh, it looks like he's gonna come around and try and sack London from the rear.
Yep.
London's pretty undefended, and Ai's way out of position. He's got a tiny army that's mostly decoy.
Yeah. And it looks like I'm thinking about it, and it looks like Gorbakov won that earlier engagement by spamming cavalry. Just look at the look at the army. Like there's no crossbows here. It's all knights.
Yeah. He's got
and
10
these
knights.
scholars are gonna get massacred. Oh no. Or not.
He's
Okay.
got 10 knights, and he's got 7 light cavalry. 3 trebuchets. That's gonna melt London down pretty quick.
Yep.
There's a temple coming up slowly. I mean, a keep coming up slowly, but you may see Gorbakov stealing a sack here. which
Yeah.
will force Taco to, or which will force Jonathan to rotate back if that's the case, because I don't think I's going to be a. You look at I's economy; it's just not doing well. Even though he's got the great pop limit or the cap limit, which is 237, but I mean,
Yeah.
100 gold, he's got basically a ancient age economy.
Yeah, he's got the same economy as the Despot player, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, that's like not acceptable
That's
at
not
this
good.
point in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and if Despot player goes comp 2, he's actually going to surpass him in economy.
Yep.
Looks like he's coming in to try and get the sack here. Let's see if
Yep,
he
and
can do
it's looking like he will get the sack because it just has a larger army. Here it
Yeah,
probably won't get the
yeah.
sack immediately because how sacks work is they're calculated based on the number of units you have, but infantry count as 3.
Right.
Even though I has more infantry technically in the long run, but ultimately Gorbakov's able to easily just walk through because the army is just way larger. Now going for Commerce 2. Here on the other side we see Comrade Taco is going for Monarch, is teching up all the units, and they call GG, I think. I didn't actually see.
Well, it's
I
the
didn't-
offensive team saying GG. I don't see anything come from the other side.
Yeah,
so.
it's a little
It might be
scummy.
premature.
This is not the nicest.
Yeah.
Don't say GG if the other team hasn't called GG. It's a little scummy, but
It's a
whatever.
little premature also, but it's not 100% inaccurate here
No,
because
not at all. I'm really
you have
interested to see what the
Americans-
Japanese player is doing here.
well, you have an American with, like you said, and you made the call. Monarch's out. Yeah, he doesn't have a second general. That's something good you guys want to do is make sure you get another general out, at least one, to come support. It's always nice to have for the extra armor and attack. But it's got 3 sieges, decent sized army. Looks like he's getting science 4. And London looks like it's going to be held pretty easily. Although I's got a decent, another mostly decoy.
Yeah.
So that's,
Feels like at the end of this game, it feels like I really threw this one away. As a British player, first of all, as a British player on defensive, you just naturally have an advantage because one, your archers are awesome, you have great tower range, and also the other players has been despot for so long.
Yeah, you have a commerce bonus, so you can boom much more.
Yeah, and it's not like the rares work particularly out of your favor either. You have relics and silver and a couple other ones currently not being used.
And you're
feels
seeing
like-
Jonathan trying to make a play at the south here with these samurai and his monarch, but I don't know
this
what
army is too small. There's no sieges.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. And I think this is GG.
Yeah, I think this is also GG.
Yeah.
We don't see a Forbidden City coming out of I. The economy is still really weak. His army is tiny compared to the massive cavalry army of
his
Gorbakov.
economy is completely done. I mean, it's a before Com 1 economy, basically.
Yeah.
So,
There's some
Yeah, I
militia
think
coming from the back. Maybe they might be able to take the cap back, but that's, still
yeah, he did momentarily.
takes the
do
cap
well.
back. But it's, I mean, it's still not solving their problems, right?
Yeah, it's just delaying the inevitable
Yep.
at this point. Unless Jonathan can really just pull out a stunt somehow and do something. But from what he's trying to do with this ambush here, I don't know what he's going to really accomplish.
Yeah, running straight past a fort, it's not.
Yeah, you're
Not
taking
really
attrition.
effective.
That fort's going to pick off his cannon probably. You got some spies coming out of that fort also.
Yeah. And now the
So it's
reinforcements for Gorbakov have arrived, and they're going to take this capital easily.
Yeah.
Plenty of units here. And there's only a minute left on the timer because, the score difference is quite large. And I calls GG.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be.
Yeah, what a game! I did not expect that ending at all.
Yeah, and what a series in general. These guys are pretty evenly matched. It's been back and forth.
Yeah.
So it looks like, the underrated champions are going to get another win here.
Yeah, and I've been impressed with both of these teams. We've seen some really like solid play from both of them here, and like for the most part, they've made some blunders here and there. But we've also seen some really interesting tactics. You know, in game number 2, we saw I go for Commerce 2, Civic 2 on Mesa before in Ancient Age, and then in this game we saw Gorbakov go Despot of 100 eco and still manage to beat the British player in a 1v1.
Yep.
You know, really interesting builds, and you know that this leads me to say like there's probably going to be many more interesting strategies in the future, and so these teams have a lot of potential to continue improving.
Yeah, it's the first round still, so they're gonna be able to come back, watch the tape, see where their mistakes were, and just keep improving. So, but both these teams look pretty legit, so something to watch out for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it probably fast forward to the end here.
Yeah, and Jonathan calls GG.
Yeah,
it looks like this game is over. Well played on both parts. You know, everybody made some minor errors, but that's all right because you know, ultimately it was Taco and Gorbakov's team that ended up making less errors, and ultimately they won because of that.
Yep, that's right.
All right, let's take a quick glance at the stats. So it looks like Gorbakov has the most kills with 119.
That's to be expected. He was the most aggressive from the early on. So.
Yeah. Had that excellent raid earlier, killed so many citizens of Eyes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
and really, you could probably point at that. You could point at that early raid as being what really kind of set up the table for the win, because that's just a raid like that. You could see I never really recovered from that. His economy could just never get up to the mark of 237. There's no way after taking that many losses. So
definitely
set him back.
And we can see here under economy, Taco has the best economy out of everybody, which makes sense. You know, was able to sit there and boom while Gorbakov made space.
Yeah. And the most ruins on top of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. I'm gonna update the scoreboard, and then we're gonna take a. What else? What did I say yesterday that we were gonna do? We're gonna go over week 2. Is that what we want to do?
Yeah, we were going to talk about some of the predictions, look at the matchups, maybe just for about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, do you have time for that now?
Up? Yeah, or if we take a quick break and then we'll pull that up.
Sounds good. So let's take like a 5-minute break. Folks will be back in 5 minutes. We're just going to be talking about the week 2 matchups, taking a look at who's playing who we think will win, what sort of strategies we may see in the next week. So we'll see you in 5 minutes.
See you soon.
All right, hey everybody. We are back after our quick break. We're going to switch to looking at the back at the draw for round number 2. Just a reminder for everybody. So the first part of the Nordic Classic tournament is a group stage. So there are 5 teams per group, and everybody plays against everybody in their respective groups. So each week you play against some other team. So let's look at Division 1 first. So at the end of Division 1, it looks like PLA Kung Fun and Clan Hater Appreciation Society both won their matches, while Squatter Water and SDO lost. So let's look at Day 2 matches. So this is where you can find your matches for week number 2. So week number 2, we have IND versus PLA Kung Fun.
Yeah, and we saw PLA. This actually, IND had a bye, so we haven't actually seen them in action yet. But we did see PLA pretty much handle SDO. So this will be an interesting matchup to see. And actually, we do have the replays in for that. So that'll be the first game we cast on this whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah, that'll probably be tomorrow is my guess,
Okay.
this cast. I'm really interested to see this. I haven't actually played with many of the IND guys. But PLA are among one of the stronger teams in the tournament. So I'm definitely interested to see what comes out of this match. Again, IND, they have technically what we would call a bye, but it's mostly because in each group there are 5 teams, so one team has to sit out every single round. So first round, IND sat out. Looks like for Division 1, the Squatter Water is sitting out the next round.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other match that we have is SDO versus Clan Hater Appreciation Society. All right.
Yeah.
We saw SDO lose their game against PLA, whereas Clan Hater Appreciation Society won their game against who did they win against?
Squatter Water.
Squatter Water, right? What do you think?
No, maybe. SDO, it was hard to say because PLA plays so well together.
Yeah.
So we don't really know how good SDO is. And Clan Hater unfortunately only had a 2v2 last time, so we got to see Serengeti and Regazor. So we'll see what 3v3 looks like this next round. So it's really hard for me to pick right now. I think it's going to be a wild card on both sides. We'll see how they look in a 3v3.
Yeah, definitely. And also, the fact of the matter is, both of these teams have probably seen their casts, and they've seen the critiques that we've had, and also the compliments that we've given. So they know where they're strong and they know where to improve. So I'm interested to see if how their skill level will change as a result. Let's take a look at Division 2. So Division 2. As we said very early on. And I'll just reiterate it now. Strat versus Alia Lacta Este. That's the last week 1 match that was meant to take place. They got an extension from the tournament organizer, so we'll be moving on to week 2 before casting theirs when they eventually get it in. For now, so far, AL won their match against Lat Team 2. So let's take a look at the week 2 matches. So we've got Call of Daddy versus AL. Call of Daddy was the team that didn't have a match for week 1. So who do you think this matchup favors?
Let's see. Call of Daddy, Team 2. We haven't seen Call of Daddy yet. Like I said, I know these guys pretty well. They're all pretty solid players. AL I think was also a 2v2, right? So we didn't get to see them.
Yes, they were playing. I think it was Kokoro and Kike played.
Yeah, so unfortunately we're in a situation where again we didn't really get to see the 3v3 action of AL. So, but I like this Call of Daddy team. I mean, they're all good players. They all play a lot. You actually have 2 AS players there.
Yes, that's true.
Both in your clan.
Yeah.
So So let's I mean, just off on paper here, I would give the edge to Call of Daddy. But let's see how AL looks together in a 3 versus 3. Because we
Yeah,
haven't seen that yet.
definitely. I'm interested to see, especially how some of the players that haven't had a chance to show their skills on stream yet. I'm interested to see how they'll play.
Yes.
All right, and then let's look at the other match. That's Lat Team 2 versus Strat. So again, we've seen Lat Team 2 play already, but Strat has not played yet. So who do you think this matchup favors? For me, it's hard to say. Definitely, I think.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
hard
I
to
would give
say.
I would give the edge
We
to
haven't seen
Lat Team
Strat.
2. I think probably. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
yeah, probably. Just on paper, they seem like a more seasoned bunch, but we haven't seen Strat because we're still waiting for the replay, right?
Yep, we just are waiting
Did they
for the
even?
replay. Yep.
Yeah, so it's really hard to say. I mean, they're pretty much a wild card at this point. Um, but yeah, I would give an edge just on paper to the Lat team for sure.
Yep. All right, so that was Division 2. Let's switch to Division 3 here. So Division 3, we had here we saw we saw AS Gladiators against AS Gladiators won that match, and we also saw on stream today we saw Underrated Champions beat Quebec team. So Underrated Champions and AS Gladiators both have 1 win apiece, and Forbidden 4 was the one that sat out that first round. Let's look at the week 2 matches. So we've got, first of all, Forbidden 4 against Quebec team. So Forbidden 4 is one of the AZ teams. They've got Trees, Romoham, Amun, and
Yep.
Chipa. And then Quebec team is the team that we just saw play, admittedly only 2 of their players.
Yeah, once again, I mean, it's hard to say with only seeing the 2, but Jonathan looked good. I had his moments, so I do like those 2 players. We'll see
Yep.
what their third brings. And the AZ team is pretty well rounded all the way around. Chipa maybe a little low compared to the
Yeah.
other 3, but Trees, Moham, and Amun are all seasoned players. I would definitely give the edge to them overall as a team.
Yep.
And I think the AZ guys play more together, so they're going to have a little more familiarity together than the Quebec team. I think the Quebec team was just put together for this tournament, so I don't know how much time they've got to practice.
Yeah, I personally would give the edge to the Forbidden 4 because their team name is cooler than Quebec team. I'm sorry, Quebec team, but Forbidden 4 is just much more creative than Quebec team.
Yeah, even though it should be AZ Team 1, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean they've got something going for them anyways. And then the other match is Underrated Champions versus AS Gladiators. So this is my team. There was an extension on this due to one of the players having a health problem.
Are you guys going to actually get a 3 versus 3 in?
We have it like a quote unquote indefinitely long extension. Like it's until the person's health problem is fixed. Or something.
You got
like
4 players. Just get 3 of them. I mean,
yeah, I'll sort that out with Connor. I actually need to double check what exactly is happening right now. But to my understanding,
what's the point of having 4 players? What is the point of having 4 players if the whole point is the 4th player? Okay, he's sick. That's fine. Sit out. You still have 3 others. What's the other 3 excuse?
Anyways.
We saw Underrated Champions today, or was it? Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Underrated Champions today. We saw Taco and Gorbakov play.
Yeah, so we saw 2 versus 2. I'm familiar with all those players. They're all pretty solid. Yeah. But definitely I give the edge to you guys. AS is, it's a strong clan. You guys always play well, top to bottom. I think AS has the advantage. But, if you guys can ever schedule a game.
Yeah, I think
because you guys also play 2 versus 2, so we need to see you guys with 3 versus 3.
Yeah. I hope we can get Princess playing at some point. Somebody is very busy, unfortunately. All right, so that was Division 3, and then finally we have Division 4. So Division 4, we have Dirty's Angels and Old Pappy Nuts both won against Last Minute and Active War, respectively. And then 4Netters was the team that sat out that round. So let's take a look at Week 2, the matchups. So first up, we've got 4Netters versus Last Minute. Last Minute was the team that we saw play against Connor's team, I believe. So that's Bonton, Brontavus, and Wizard, and we didn't see Casio Code. And then 4Netters, we didn't see them play at all because they had that was their round that they weren't playing. Who do you think this matchup favors?
I don't know because I don't know anything really about the 4Netters. I don't think I've really played with any of them.
No, me neither.
Last Minute we saw Wizard looked really good. Bronto had some moments early but kind of faded.
Yeah.
So if they can kind of get on the same page and play better, they might have a chance. But really, this 400 is kind of a wild card team. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure about
definitely.
them.
Um, and to just a quick message to all of you teams out there: if you have four players, this is just my opinion, obviously. But if you have four players, I think it's always best to rotate in and out, even if there is like a significant skill disadvantage, especially early on in the group stage, right? Because you really want everybody to get experience. Like that's why we play the team. That's why we're playing in the tournament. We want to have fun. We want to play in a high stakes tournament in order to like get better and also play with some better players and in like a more organized setting. And so it's really good to be able to rotate in and out of your team members, even if one team member may be a little weaker than the others. Part of being in a team is you all help each other improve and you all work together to make your game better. So, anyways, that's just my opinion. That was a slight rant. Sorry.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, and then finally we have Dirty's Angels against Active War. So Dirty's Angels is Connor's team, and Active War is the team that played in that close match against Old Pappy Nuts that we saw. At least the really close game
well.
one. Yeah. Who do you think has the edge here?
Well, again, I'm familiar with all these players. I think Active War in the first round. They were much better than I expected them to be, but I don't think they're quite at the level of Connor and Henry and those guys.
Yeah.
Even though Connor played like crap really the last couple games, but I think that's just whatever. He was just kind of whatever about it. But I think if Dirty's Angels dials it in, they should have no problem with these guys.
Yeah. And a quick aside, in Connor's defense, he hasn't played in a while.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so that may be that is a reason to explain some people's lack of skill compared to how they're expected to play, right? After you haven't played for a while, you are rusty. Even like from my personal experience, right? Like when I came back to playing after like a month or so off, it was really, really hard. Even though I knew in my head what I was supposed to do, it was really hard to actually do those things in game. And that's something that can only come from playing more and just getting that experience, getting that muscle memory. Oh, here is the way I need to scout. Here are the way I need to put down farms, and here is the way I need to be able to outpost scout quickly. Here are the techs that I just like know by heart, and it's muscle memory to go up to gunpowder, etc.
Yeah, well, I mean, with that said, those guys showed in our series with them. They're not slouches by any means.
No, definitely.
So if they bring their A game and Connor plays like crap again,
yeah, anything could happen. All right, so that is going to be it for our stream today. Really, really excited to see what sort of matches come out for week number 2. Again, the deadline for week number 2 is on Monday, I believe. Is it 12 p.m. GMT or something like that? If you have any problems, please contact Connor. And another reminder, again, if you're sending in replays and the total length of your games last more than 2.5 hours, please say so in your email. Just say like, oh, that these games are rather long. It's over 2.5 hours, just FYI. And that will help the commentators plan out when to cast a little bit easier. Thank you so much for watching. This is AS Eat the Pair signing off, and olddirtyh.
Thank you guys. See